With this Necro build, you never have to worry about resource generation at all. On top of that, you can level with this build from level 1 to 100, and while you are getting stronger, you will be able to completely kill the whole screen with just one button press. So let's see how we achieve that. You will find the link to the build down in the description below, and let's start off with the skill tree right here. We want to play with Reap to get the additional attack speed and be able to form a corpse. You can also choose between Hemorrhage, Enhanced Hemorrhage, and the Acolyte's Hemorrhage right here, which is going to give you a little bit more single target damage because you will get additional attack speed, which is going to generate more resource, and then you can spend that on Blood Surge. So this is more of an AoE option right here for farming or general tasks basically. And if you struggle a little bit with single target damage, go Hemorrhage, Enhanced Hemorrhage, and Acolyte's Hemorrhage. Then afterwards we take 1 point in Unliving Energy to get 3 points in Imperfectly Balanced. Then after that we want to take Blood Surge with Enhanced Blood Surge, which is going to give us a little bit healing, and we want to have the Paranormal Blood Surge for guaranteed overpowers, which is going to be very crazy come Season 2 because that has been buffed, and we will also stack other similar effects that are going to guarantee overpowers. Then you want to have 1 point in Hued Flesh just to be able to have at least the chance of generating additional corpses, especially on bosses. That is going to be helpful when they are going to spawn ads, for example. And then we also want Iron Maiden, because with the Enhanced Iron Maiden you are going to always have full resource, because every time you cast your Iron Maiden, everything that hasn't been cursed yet by Iron Maiden or the curse fell off is going to give you 5 essence, and that is going to be huge. It's basically instantly refilling your resource to full, and the Apparent Iron Maiden is on top of that going to heal you for 7% of max life whenever an enemy dies that is afflicted by Iron Maiden. So with this you are actually going to be even safer. Then we want to have Amplify Damage, because basically everything is cursed, and then you will get the multiplier here. And we want to have the Reaper's Pursuit whenever you are going with Reap, because Necro's only weakness is that it's slow. We have darkness damage here, and every time we damage an enemy with darkness, the Reaper's Pursuit is going to give us 15% movement speed for 3 seconds, so that's going to be really nice, and is basically lifting up our weakness just a little bit here. Then we want to have Corpse Tendrils with Enhanced Corpse Tendrils and Plagued Corpse Tendrils, which is going to give us a free vulnerable multiplier, so basically we do 20% more damage after we press Corpse Tendrils. Then here comes the good part. We want to have 1 point in Gruesome Mending just to unlock the rest basically. We want 1 point in Transfusion, again just to unlock the possibility of generating a little bit more blood orbs. And then we want to have Coalesced Blood 3 out of 3, Tides of Blood with 3 out of 3, and Drain Vitality 3 out of 3. This is going to give us a lot of damage while we are healthy, and it's going to increase our overpower while we are healthy, and on top of that it's going to give us Fortify on Lucky Hit. That is extremely strong. On your amulet we want to find Coalesced Blood. That is going to be really, really helpful. Also Tides of Blood is basically the same thing. Then next up we want to have Standalone, Memento Mori, because we are sacrificing all of our minions. We want Inspiring Leader to get even more attack speed, and then 1 full set of Bone Storm together with Rathma's Vigor, which is going to give us a guaranteed overpower every 12 seconds, which is going to be reduced every time we use Blood Orbs or heal or overheal for an amount greater than our base life. Next up we have a look at the Paragon tree, and it's actually a funny form right here. I will not go into big detail here. You can actually see the Paragon board down in the description or in the pinned comment with the build link. And what I just want to point out here is some very specific things. For example, we have the 4 essence on kill on this cluster right here, which is basically going to refill your energy all of the time whenever you are casting Blood Surge, and you don't really have the option to curse them with Iron Maiden. This is something that I will have to double check as soon as we go later into the season, maybe week 1 or week 2. I will probably update this and change this, so stay tuned for the update. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss this, because might be a little bit overkill, but again, I'd rather be safe than sorry, especially in the beginning here, and the change that we're going to make is not going to be crazy big. On top of that, we are taking a lot of all resistance, because that's really important come Season 2. We take a lot of overpower damage. We want to have Bloodbath, that is going to dramatically increase our damage. And again, we have some all res here, which is going to be very important with Season 2. And then a lot of legendary nodes, because we are getting full value out of those. Again, if you want to copy this, check out the link in the pinned comment or in the description below. But again, this little cluster right here will probably need some change, which I am going to update with in maybe week 1 or week 2 of the season. As soon as you unlock your first glyph socket, it's very important that you socket the dominate glyph right here into that first glyph socket, because that is going to give us a lot of scaling on our overpower damage. And until you unlock the 4th board, Scent of Death, you are going to keep dominate right here to just get it scaling your overpower damage, and you're going to invest in the willpower that you need on this board right here. So the 39 willpower are going to be scaling your overpower damage as long as you are going to unlock the board right here, where the dominate glyph is then going to be forever. For the leveling to 1 to 15, and then again from 15 to 21, you're going to go from top to bottom on the following list right here. First, you're going to start out with dominate, then territorial, then gravekeeper, and last but not least, amplify. Then for aspects and gear, we are starting out with aspect of shielding storm on our helm, which is going to give us a barrier basically all of the time, and basically for all of our life, as long as our bone storm is active. That is going to be really OP, and probably is going to be one of the OPest defensive sources in the game in Season 2. Then disobedience on chest, sacrificial aspect on our gloves, which is going to give us more all res and more overpower damage. That is huge. Then aspect of might to reduce our damage further. And then the Ghostwalker aspect, which is going to give us 25% movement speed every time we are casting our Metamorphosis. A very nice combo here with the Vampiric Powers. Then on our two-hander, we want to go with Bloodbath aspect, which is going to give us a second Blood Surge, but with a little bit less damage. This one can also be changed with Rathmar's Chosen, which I definitely have to try out and will update again in the new update video coming in week 1 or week 2. On our amulet, we want to have Untimely Death to get even higher overpower damage, and also scale, which is going to increase the duration of our Bone Storm. For uniques, Lidless Wall comes to mind. The active on the Bone Storm part of it is going to be really helpful, not only offensively with the damage, but also defensively, which is going to help us with the shielding storm aspect, and it is going to generate a lot of barrier for us. So again, I will have to try this out. I can't really say if we need it, if we want to have it. This will also be in the update in of the build in around week 1 or week 2 of the season. Then for the class mechanic, we want to sacrifice our skeletal defender warriors to get the 20% resistance to everything, which is going to be buffed by our sacrificial aspect on the gloves, and on top of that by Memento Mori. So Memento Mori is going to buff this to 32% all resistance, which is going to be crazy. We will have a much easier time than a lot of other classes to get to our resistance cap, which is going to be very important. And we might actually hit our max resistance cap of 85% way easier than other classes, just because of sacrificing the skeletal defenders right here. Then on the mages, we are sacrificing the bones to get more overpower damage. And for the golem, you are going to sacrifice your bone golem whenever you are running hemorrhage to get more attack speed. And if you are running reap for a much more defensive version for the 15% damage reduction, you are going to change over to the sacrificing the blood golem, because we will get 10% more max life, which is again amplified by Memento Mori and our sacrificial aspect. So that one is going to give you 16% more max life, which is going to be also an offensive part of our overpower damage. So you can kind of choose here. I definitely suggest you try out both. I think in the end the maximum life is going to win just because of the connection between max life and overpower. Then for the seasonal mechanic, we are going to run Metamorphosis, again to combo with our Ghostwalker aspect, basically having 25% increased movement speed all of the time. Then we want Blood Boil to get another source of guaranteed overpower. This time it is going to be 20 seconds. And we will also generate 3 volatile blood orbs or blood drops, which we can collect to deal 60% physical damage whenever we are collecting them. Then next up we want Sanguine Brace to have our Fortify basically up at every time, and we are also gonna get 8% crit whenever we are fortifying more than half of our maximum life, which is not going to be a problem because again we are killing the whole screen every time we are pressing just one blood surge. Then next we want Moonrise to get that juicy attack speed on Hemorrhage, which is going to be huge. You will get 20% attack speed here, and which is going to be really important for the wheelchair Necromancer, we are getting additional 15% movement speed, which is then further amplified by Ravenous. A lucky hit chance of 20% to increase our attack speed by 40% of our total movement speed. So not only are we benefiting or stacking movement speed, but we are also kinda benefiting from the stacked movement speed for our attack speed. A very good combo right here. Very fitting for Necromancers. In an ideal world, your rotation or combo would look something like this. You would have a corpse ready whenever you are playing Hemorrhage, or you would generate one with Reap to be able to use your corpse tendrils, basically pulling in everything that is on the screen. Then you would use 1 or 2 blood surges, but it's important to not kill the enemies. You just want to lower your essence a little bit so that you can use your Iron Maiden to refill it up instantly and then kill the rest of the pack. So you will probably have some essence ready going into the next fight, and then rinse and repeat. I'm going to be updating the build with my findings during week 1 or week 2, so stay tuned for this. And if you like content similar to this, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.